Bob, I'm an addict. Glad to be here. I'm glad to be alive. If you pass me any day of the week, anywhere you see me, if you ask me how I'm doing, my standard answer is going to be, today's the best day of my life. It doesn't always feel like it is. But I do a lot of shit on Google, so I'm not endorsing anything. I do a lot of stuff online. I look a lot of stuff up. And I read somewhere, and this is a while ago, so the numbers might be different, but I read that over 150,000 people who were alive yesterday are not alive today, did not wake up this morning. So how many people in this room woke up this morning? Woo! Best day of your life now, right? Yeah. See what I'm saying? I want to thank all the people that are involved in service to get this convention going, all the people that did work to get this going, all the folks that showed up, and it's important that we support each other. It's important that we come here and support each other and help each other out. This is the men's rap. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, a whole lot of stuff. Some of it is really, really cool. Some of it absolutely sucks. Can I curse here? Sure. Shit, pissed off, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucking tits. All right. Like 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C, which was a death penalty a death sentence back then, because there was no cure for it. I was taking needles and pills and all kinds of shit, and it wasn't working. And then I got retired, and I moved we moved down here to Tennessee, and they came up with some new medications, and I took a medication, and no side effects, nothing, and the hep C was gone, and it's gone now. Pretty cool, right? Pretty good stuff. I have cancer. I have a cancer called multiple myeloma. It's not a curable cancer, but it can, however, be arrested at some point. Recovery is then possible. Here's my experience. Sometimes something will happen in my life and it looks negative, right? Initially, it's negative. But later on, wow, I'm glad that happened, because if that didn't happen, these other things wouldn't happen, I wouldn't be here. So, just a different way of looking at things. I was trying to remember what happened. Like, what year did the COVID thing hit? What was the year? Okay. Right before that, 6 months, 8 months before that, maybe almost a year before that. Riding my lawnmower, there was something in the way. I reached down to get it. Oh, fuck, I fractured a rib. Just by leaning over, I fractured a rib. Damn. Working under a sink, fixing a drain pipe. Fuck, fractured another rib. 4 times. 4 fractured ribs. What the hell's going on, right? And then I had this pain in my back. Excruciating pain. I couldn't stand up. I get up in the morning, it was like this. I had a collapsed disc in my spine, right? So I went to a couple of specialists, finally saw the surgeon. He looked at me. He took a history from me. We sat and talked for 45 minutes. This guy was a genius. Sat and talked for 45 minutes, and he said, well, I'm going to do this surgery, and when I do this surgery, I'm going to do a biopsy. Is that okay? I said, I had to sign for it. And the biopsy is what discovered the cancer. Now, this cancer that I have is not treatable at certain stages, and it's not treatable at later stages. And they caught it just at the right time. You see what I'm saying? I was doing DoorDash. I was working at a rehab, doing classes, but my credentials are all expired. So I was going in as a contract worker, because I have a lot of knowledge about recovery. And I was doing groups, I was doing classes, but they had to pay me off the books. And they couldn't bill insurance, so it didn't last long. Anyway, they told me I couldn't do that anymore, so I started doing DoorDash deliveries. Well, just to be busy doing something. And I had to go pick up an order at a store. And I walked into the store, and walking from the daylight into artificial light, I stopped. I said, holy shit, I can't see. I couldn't see. It took me like a couple of minutes for my eyes to adjust to artificial light. So what the hell's going on? Well, I wound up going to the eye doctor, discovered I had macular degeneration. They told me I was the degenerate. Anyway, I'm losing my eyesight. I get needles injected in my eyeballs. Now it's like every 8 weeks, every 2 months, every 2.5 months. It is what it is. But if I didn't find out about it, I wouldn't be getting that. You know what I mean? All this type of stuff, all these kind of things happen in my life. But because of the physical limitations that I have. See, just let me know if you identify with this. My mind says 25 years old. My body says, fuck you. Right? Can you identify with that? Okay. So there's a lot of things that I used to do that I can no longer do. Because of the spine surgeries, I lost 2 inches in height. At Bubba's funeral, I saw Emery. I went to give Emery a hug. Emery and I used to look eye to eye to each other. Emery's like, what happened? I lost height. Because compressed. I went to the doctor right after the surgeries. They took my height, and she said 6'1". I said, no, I'm 6'3". She said, it says 6'1". I'm pulling out my license, right? I'm going to show her my license. She said, look, it says 6'3". I was going to argue with her, right? It's called denial. But here's the deal, man. I'm having a hard time staying over 170 pounds. I'm 167 pounds right now. I can't get over. I used to be, whatever. I can't physically do things. Don't have the strength. I feel inadequate. I feel inept. I feel less than. I feel useless. I'm not contributing anything to the household. You understand what I'm saying? I have all these things going on. And the disease in my mind, by the way, the disease lives in your mind. You know? The disease is alive and well, living in my mind, check this out, using my thoughts and using my feelings as weapons against me to try to trap me off to go do something stupid. That's the disease. So here's the news. Just because I think it, just because I feel it, doesn't mean I got to do it. Right? But I feel inadequate. And I feel less than. And that's not a good feeling. It's just not a good feeling. You know, I'm changing my routine because I can beat myself up faster than anybody else. I can beat the crap out of myself. Let me drop something on the floor. Oh, you fucking asshole! What's the matter with you? First thing out of my mouth. So I'm trying not to do that. So now I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror. I'm doing this on purpose. Doesn't mean I'm good through that rest of the day, but on purpose I go and I look in the mirror and I look at myself. And then I'll say, holy shit! And usually my wife will say, what's the matter? I say, baby, I'm better looking today than I was yesterday. I don't always believe that, but I'm trying to put that out there because I have all these feelings of less than and all these feelings of inadequacy. And it's difficult. It's real difficult for us as men to admit, the word inadequate, you know what I mean? Incapable. It's not a good word. So I have to overcome that. December 13th is my clean date, by the way. I celebrate, check this out, and I'm not doing this for applause, I'm just telling you. I celebrate 35 years clean. I'm not going to use between now and then. It's not my plan. I'm only saying that because even with time, these things are going on. Even with time, the disease is sitting in the room, sitting in my mind, looking at my feelings, looking at my thoughts, trying to trick me and trap me off to get me to do something I shouldn't be doing. That's the disease. That's the disease. So just because I think it or feel it doesn't mean I have to do it. I'm going to repeat myself a lot because I'm really fucking old, even though I don't like it. I have to play an active role in my own self-improvement. I have to play an active role in my own ongoing recovery. And I have to remind myself to do that on a regular basis. I do a lot of Zoom meetings. Still don't get out a lot. But I'll be celebrating at St. John's on Thursday, December 19th. This is December 19th. Yeah, December 19th at St. John's. Come on down. There'll be food, fun, and fellowship, and cake, and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah. It's going to work really nice. So imagine in your brain there's a room where all your thinking takes place. You with me? In that room is a closet. If you've heard me say this before, you'll hear it again. In that room, that's the room where all your thoughts start. Every thought you've ever had, every thought you're having right now, every thought you're ever going to have begins in that room. Everybody with me? In the corner of the room is a closet. The doorknob to the closet is on the outside of the door. In other words, if you were in the closet and the door was closed, you couldn't get out. There's no doorknob on the inside. You with me? Okay. When I'm using, the disease runs in that room. He lives in that room. He's got a lazy boy recliner, DVRs, DVDs, he's got everything, surround sound, he's got the whole nine in there. The disease is running the show, dictating the thoughts, driving the actions. You with me? As soon as I made that decision to come here, as soon as I admitted I was powerless, my life was unmanageable, as soon as I started practicing the principles of recovery, the disease got shoved off the lazy boy recliner, the remotes got taken away, and he got stuck in the closet. So now the disease is locked in the closet. He can't get out, there's no doorknob on the inside. You with me? Okay. But the closet is still in the room where thinking takes place. The disease wants to come out. So even though the disease can't open the door and come out, if I use it, it's like I hand him everything. Even when I'm doing everything I'm needing to do, the disease is still cognizant of my thought process, and he still wants to use my thoughts and feelings against me. So you know what he's doing? He's writing notes and sliding them under the door. So if you're walking along, you're doing really good, and you see something, smell something, hear something, think something, and you get that negative thought, that was a note. The disease slid under the door, trying to trick you into opening the door. You with me? Just because you get the message doesn't mean you got to act on it. So when I get the note, I read the note, I say, thanks for sharing. But I'm not going to do that right now. We're always in charge of our actions. We're always in charge of our actions. I can't stress that enough. We're always in charge of our actions. My job as a man in recovery is to do the best I can. My job as a man in recovery is to share with you that I'm scared, is to share with you that I feel less than, is to share with you that I feel inadequate, is to share with you that I'm nearing the end of my life, is to share with you that I can see my mortality coming, is to share these things with you and let you know that some of these things are fearful to me. But no matter what, I'm not going to use. And it's difficult for us as men, for us to say to each other, hey, dude, I'm really fucking scared. I need some help. What are you doing? Can you hang out? These are the things I have to do. These are the things we all have to do. This is what works. So, today is the best day of my life. It really is. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be in the process. I still plan on living to be 112. That's my plan. I've been saying that since I was a kid. I'm going to live to be 112. If I make it to 112, now understand this. My mother's brother, my uncle, if you saw a picture of me and my uncle and my father, you'd think my uncle was my father because I got all his genes. I got his khakis. I got all his corduroys. I got all his genes. He's 100 years old. He's the only living relative I have that's older than me. He's 100 years old. He lives in Morristown, New Jersey. He's nearing the end of his life. Hospice is in there now. But if he can make it to 100, and he's a generation before me, I might make it to 112. I might wind up being 112 years old with 70 years clean time. That's a possibility. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to get in the Guinness Book of World Records or anything, but that would be nice, right? The real message here, is that I'm responsible for my own recovery. I'm responsible for my own process. Can't nobody do this for me. Can't nobody give it to me. When you get a sponsor and you start working step work, it has nothing to do with who your sponsor is. It has to do with you doing the work and learning some stuff. This is a learning program. I heard a guy one time say, he's 20-something years, I don't know nothing. This is a program of learning. You didn't learn anything? I don't know everything, but there's more to learn. But this is a program of learning. We need to learn this stuff. We need to learn how to do this. I need to learn how to do this. Shouldn't use the we so much. I don't know how much time I got. I'm almost done. Narcotics Anonymous is the best game in town. It really is. It's the only program I know that works for everybody. It says in our basic text, it says very simply, we have never by the way is an absolute term, we have never seen a person relapse who lives the NA program. In our experience, no addict, I said it wrong, in our experience, no addict who lives the NA program has ever failed to find recovery. We have never seen a person who lives the NA program relapse. What is the NA program? I'll give it to you real simple, okay? What is the NA program? How many people here can count to 3? Excellent. What is the NA program? Don't pick up the first one. Go to meetings. Work the steps. You with me? Don't pick up the first one. Go to meetings. Work the steps. Is that complicated? You know what they say in Spanish? You can do it. I know you can. It's not really Spanish. I was Cuban. That was Cuban. If I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, I can do it. Anyone can do it. The thing is, we can't do it by ourselves. Make sense? I don't know if anybody got anything out of what I shared. I'm glad I'm here. It's nice to see some faces that I haven't seen in a long time. It was good to get some of those hugs. If you see my wife, please don't hug her. She had shoulder surgery. Her arm's in a sling. Thanks for letting me share.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Our next speaker is Lee. All right.
I'm Lee. I'm a grateful covenant addict. Thanks, Bob, man. Bob's one of the predecessors. I was here when Bob came from the East Coast. Brought some East Coast flavor down here to Knoxville, man. Greatly appreciate you, brother. When I had called Grant, man, and I told him that I was going to be over here in Knoxville, man, and I told him I wanted to do some service work, and I believe one of the brothers was going to do this, and then he decided he's doing something else. So Grant allowed me to put me in this position. And Grant's like my baby bro, man. Like that's my blood. We really look alike. We favor. Sometimes people can't tell us the difference. Yeah, you wear yours to the back. He wears his to the back. I wear mine to the front. Right. And when I talked to him, I had said, man, what's the topic? Because sometimes when we do these men's raps, we have a topic. And he said it wasn't no topic. It wasn't no topic. So I told him I was gonna do finances and fucking, right? I'm saying it's a men's rap, right? I'm saying like shit, money and pussy. I mean, I can't think of nothing better to talk about amongst men, right? But then when I got here, right, and then I seen his face, and I seen Will's face, and I seen Country and Nick and Dustin and TJ and Eddie and Randy and Marvin, and I can't name all of y'all, and James, and then I seen my brother from Murfreesboro, Josh. I don't know where he at. I can't see him, but he's somewhere in the office. And I seen everybody, and I said, I'm gonna do brotherhood and recovery, man. And my man too from Murfreesboro. I just met him at the meeting in Murfreesboro. You bet I forgot your name that fast. I'm 52, man. This thing ain't working like it used to be, but I won't forget it again. But I said brotherhood and recovery, man. You know, and I came to Narcotics Anonymous, man. And first of all, let me say this. Is there anybody who's thinking about using some drugs when they leave this meeting? Because that overlaps over everything. Okay, we're good on that. Okay, because this ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't about me. This is about us. And that's more important. Newcomer is the most important person, or anybody who has thinking about that shit. Let's address that. But okay, everybody know how to use drugs, right? Everybody know how to fuck their life up, right? Okay, so I ain't got to do a whole drug log and all that shit. We know about the jails, institutions, and death, right? Many of us done been to jail or either know somebody done been to jail, institutions, and all this shit. And we all know somebody that done died from this shit, right? So we ain't got to go there. Let's get to the other part of it, right? Because see, I ain't got to really do no whole drug log and all the fucked up shit that I did when I was getting high. Because I did a lot of fucked up shit clean. I want to start. Yeah, I did a lot of shit fucked up clean, right? I got a boatload of shit that I could talk about that, but I ain't even got that much time. I can't cover all that shit. So I'm going to keep it real simple and start off with, like I said, the brotherhood, man. You know, I got 18 years, man. August the 6th, I celebrated 18 years, right? And I was introduced to the program of Narcotics Anonymous in 1999 up in Chicago, because I'm originally from Chicago. But I didn't get it. I don't have 25 years. I didn't get that then the first go around. You know, I tried the geographical thing, right? I went to Cali. I did my thing in Cali. I moved to Wisconsin. I did my thing in Wisconsin. Came down to Nashville, Tennessee. I did my thing in there. And I make it to Knoxville, and I did my thing here in Knoxville. But then I made it to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, right? And when I get to the rooms here in Narcotics Anonymous, Randy the Painter here, Tony D here, Tony C here. It's a bunch of Eddie. It's a bunch of older guys that got some time when I got here. And I'm like, man, I'm tired of hearing this same old shit from these dudes, man. Like, God, man, they don't know what they're talking about. They old and shit and all this. And they say, well, are you willing to take some suggestions? And I said, okay. They said, keep coming back. Regardless of what you do, you keep coming back. I'm like, okay. They said, don't use no matter what. We're in a no matter what club. We got a no matter what club here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We don't use regardless of what the fuck go down. There's nothing that I can go through that somebody ain't, one of the brothers or sisters ain't already went through. Clean and made it through on the other side clean. So ain't no fucking excuse. We got a no matter what. We don't use here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Narcotics Anonymous in general, but right here. They gave me that. I said, okay, cool, but how do I can stop using, but how do I stay stopped, right? And I forgot which one of my predecessors gave me this, but they said, it's real simple, Lee. I said, how simple could it be? They said, if you don't put the drugs in your hand, you don't get high. Can't be that fucking simple, right? Just don't put it in my hand and I don't get high. I said, it's got to be more to it than that, man. It's got to be some big sci-fi shit to this shit. It's got to be some, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be some DC Marvel shit. You know what I'm saying, Nick? You know what I'm talking about? The DC Marvel, yeah, some superhero type shit to this. It can't be just as simple as if I don't put the drugs in my hand, I don't use. Ain't nobody out there kidnapping us and throwing us in no truck and making us use no dope. I said, okay, cool. Then one of the predecessors told me that the disease is in the man and not in the land. So nothing outside of me can make me use. But y'all just told me people, places, you know, but how does that work? Nothing outside of myself can make me use, man. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nobody can make me use. They took all the excuses away from me, man. All of it. They took every excuse that I possibly could think of to use. And then, what about if my mama died? What if my grandmama died? What if my daddy died? Hey, nah, man. We already got some people who done been through that already and made it clean. What if my girl go out and she use and I got to go get her out the crack house? I got to go get her out the meth house. I got to get her out the heroin house. You ain't got to use if that's what you want to do. You can carry your ass in there if you want to, chasing her. But you still ain't got to use. You ain't gotta use if that's what you want to do. You might be crazy than a motherfucker though. You might feel really fucked up. She might walk in there, she might be doing some shit that you don't want to see her doing. And that's no disrespect to any of the sisters, but we know what we all do certain shit when we out there. So, okay, so no excuses to use. So I don't know how to live on drugs, and I don't know how to live without the drugs. So how do I do this? And then say we're trying to be positive, productive members of society. Positive, productive member of society. A dope fiend, junkie, crackhead, like me. They said you can do it if you trust the process. Okay, so I'm seeing them, and now they got like businesses, and they owning homes, and they talking all this stuff, and they got wives, and I'm like, this shit is foreign. This shit is foreign to me. They said, if you want what we have, you do what we do. Take some suggestions. Keep coming back. Don't use. Get a sponsor. Work some steps. Service work. God, Josh big on the service work. Service work. Okay, cool. Then they threw a jammy in. They threw a monkey wrench in it. And I don't know who came up with this shit. They said, stay out of relationships for the first year, Lee. And me, do that mean I can't get no vagina, or do you just say I can't call her my girlfriend? Right? Because it's a difference for me. So you're telling me to stay out of relationships. You suggesting that I stay out of relationship for the first year and work on myself, but are you telling me don't do no vagina for a year, right? And then they said you can have sex, as much sex as you want. I'm like, yeah. Then he said with yourself. That one I didn't take. But there's many times in life when I wish I did take that suggestion. There's many times in life. So what worked for some of us may not work for others, and what worked for others may not work for some of us. It's to each his own. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's been different times in recovery where, you know what I mean, I wish I would have took some of those early suggestions. But the good thing about it is all the suggestions, I kept them. They was in a bank, even if I didn't use them. You know how they say, take what you need and leave the rest. Take all that shit. Because I never know when I'm going to need some shit. I know it was shit that I felt I didn't need when I had 9 months, that later on when I had 10 years, this shit was valid. And I needed it. And I came back and I got it. And I pulled from it. Man, do you know how good it feels to wake up, man, and not be dope sick? Man, you know how good it feels, man, to have my child call me dad, pops, the old man, daddy, my daughter call me daddy, and they got that look in their face. They got that look of, you responsible for me. And they come to me now. Like, and I came here deadbeat dad, man. I started off in this process, man, walking the meetings, man, from the halfway house. Miles, regardless of what the weather was. They told me to trust the process, and eventually the vehicle came. I started working at the McDonald's on Clinton Highway. I was there when I first got clean. I don't even remember what the pay was, but I know it wasn't even $9 at that time. And I remember being in there, and I remember one of the guys, I'm flirting with one of the little chicks, and at this time, when I come in, I'm 34. So I'm still thinking I'm a gangster. I'm from Chicago. I'm on some gangster shit. I knock your motherfucking wig. Lee, go get a box of fries out the cooler. And I'm like talking to the little chick. I'm trying to finesse, right? I'm saying to myself, who the fuck do he think he talking to, right? I slam him on the table, I go call my sponsor. Man, this dude don't know what the fuck he talking. I'm gonna whoop this chump, yada, 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 this and that, right? My sponsor say, what you gonna do is you're gonna go in there and get that motherfucking box of fries when he tell you to go get the box of fries. Because it ain't his fault that your ass didn't do what your mama told you when she told you to go to school and get you a career. That ain't his fault. It ain't his fault that you chose to go do dope. It ain't his fault that your ass went to the penitentiary because you was trying to be a drug dealer when you was using drugs. That ain't none of his fault. He doing his fucking job. Change the perception. They say the only thing I had to change is everything. Only thing I had to change was my perception. That was the only thing I had to do was change my perception. So the next time, after talking to my sponsor, he said, Lee, go get a box of fries. I said, I'm on it. Do anybody else need anything out the cooler? He changed my perception. He changed my perception, man. And I trusted the process because he told me this is just a stepping stone. And thanks to Grant and Country and Neil and them, I ended up getting into a union, becoming an industrial painter, sandblasting. You remember the shit tank, man? That we blasted that, laying in that shit.
Country went down there.
He was the pot. But anyway, he was working the pot, I think. He was working the pot, yeah. But I'm saying that, I'm saying that I got on the road with these guys, man, and now I'm like, I'm not boasting or bragging, but I'm like kind of something like a somebody in Chicago in that field. I do swing stages. I'm up way, way, way high up in the sky with this shit, man. And I make a decent dollar. I make a decent living. Because of them. I trusted the process, but this shit started off at McDonald's. I couldn't jump straight to that when I got here because I would have fucked it up. So it was a process, man. It was a process. I was going to the Goodwill, right? When I first got here. Salvation Army, the Goodwill, and I was going in there looking for the best Ralph Lauren shit. And I would get me a $3 Ralph Lauren and take it to the cleaners for $2. I got me a brand new $5 Ralph Lauren on, and I come to the dance and I'm the motherfucking shit. With my Ralph Lauren on, right? Man, over the years, man, I done had so many goddamn clothes, I don't even know where half that shit is at now. And all that shit is material shit. Don't get me wrong, right? It's material shit. That shit ain't gonna keep me clean. And all of that shit, I could liquidate all that shit and put that shit in a bag and snort it. I could liquidate all that shit and melt it down and run that shit. All that shit will go in there. Trust me. But I'm also a prosperity addict. I ain't the addict to say don't get you no money. So now, I'm in a recovery process to now, they done tricked me. Because now I'm getting money, but what the fuck do I do with the money? I'm spending a lot of shit. I'm not managing my money right. So now they done tricked me and they saying, the predecessor's telling me, Lee, now you got to work on your credit. Fuck for. I'm saying I got a nice car, I got a nice condo, I got some clothes. They said, that shit ain't nothing. You got to get you some credit. So I got to build my credit now? Okay, I start working on my credit. Here we go with these old motherfuckers always trying to tell somebody how to live, right? So now they switching and say, now you got to look for some investments. Huh? Now I got to try to invest? A dope fiend like me, I got to try to find some investments? I got to learn about stocks and bonds and APRs and all this shit? You telling me this is what's for me? Yeah, if you want what we have. You want what we have. And getting back to the other part, you want a wife? I don't know. Just being real. After doing the work, it comes in. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I ain't got to use no dope behind it. Whether I do or I don't. Am I spiritually fit for that? But I don't have to be. I don't have to get married. I don't have to be in a relationship. I can still recover and be a single man. But what I do know is from experience, if I don't practice some principles in all my affairs, I'm going to be fucked off. So if I'm dishonest and I'm closed-minded and all this other shit, I don't give a damn what I'm doing. But I was saying that to say, if I want a wife, I probably don't need to go to the brother who ain't got a wife. I probably need to go to the brother who has the wife and get some experience from him. It's somebody in here, wherever I'm trying to go, whatever I'm going through, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's somebody in here that got some experience with it. Whether their experience is good or bad. Because sometimes I've learned that the bad experience helped me just as much as the good experience. Because some of the times you telling me what the fuck don't work. And sometimes that's just as good as what do work. So I'm not going to discredit anybody. But I'm just saying that if I want to be a husband, I'm going to look for the husbands in here who seem to be fairly healthy in that department. Now, if you want to be on some player shit, come check me out. I'm staying on some player shit. Right? No, I'm just saying, right? Not in no sick terms, but I'm just, to my darn self, I got to be honest, right? Then when I'm honest with myself, I can be honest with other people. But it's not always easy to be honest with the woman. And I'm just saying me. I'm talking about me. It's not always easy because what the dishonest, that's what my biggest deal is for me, is being honest, 100% honest with the woman. For me. All this other shit is going really, really smooth. But when she giving me that cookie, man, and she helping me out every now and then when my money ain't right? She massaging my feet. She put the mashed potatoes with the smothered chicken and with the gravy on that joint, man. Oh, my God. But we started off just friends. And now she flipped out of nowhere and said, if you don't want to be my man, then I'm going to have to let this go. Now I got a decision to make. Am I going to be a man and say, I'm really not ready for this relationship shit? Or I'm going to say, okay, baby, I'm going to sign up. Because I don't want to let this chicken go. I don't want to let that cookie go. I don't want that cookie to go. You know what I mean? And I'm going to sign up for some shit that I really know I'm not ready for. That really, if I dig down deep in, I really don't even want the shit. But I'm being selfish and self-centered. So do I want to let her go on about her business, or I'm going to play boyfriend and do this bullshit and stay dishonest? The decision is mine. The decision is mine. Real quick, I don't know how much time I got, but I want to also talk about, man, getting older in this process, man. Man, I came in this joint at 34, man. I had a six-pack when I came in. Really not a six-pack. I had been smoking so much crack to where I really didn't have no weight to where you could see my ribs and my muscle. It was, you know what I'm saying? I've been smoking so many moles, man. And well, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was a six-pack, but really my stomach was touching my back. I ain't had no weight on my ass. Right? I started 30. Okay, but I was 34 when I came in, right? A bull. Well, I was taking on all contenders. And the ones that's been around here for a while, they know I had a name in this area, boy. I was knocking chicks back. Do you hear me? I was knocking them back. I was on the blacklist. I don't know if y'all know what a blacklist is, a blue list, a green list. The halfway house shit, boy, I was terror. I was terror. The directors and the owners of them halfway house, they told them girls, boy, if we catch you with Lee, if we hear about you fucking with Lee, your ass getting kicked out. And man, time went on. I'm working on me, and to the point where it was like, this ain't even attractive, man. This is not for me anymore. I've leveled up, and that's not no disrespect to any of the sisters that's in the halfway house. It's just that I can't do nothing with you because where I'm at in life, that's not gonna work for me. And I can't be your God. I can't fill your void. I'm not in a position to where I can wait on you to get a pass. Because I might need you to jump on a flight. And I can't tiptoe around and be picking you up around the corner, none of that, baby. So this ain't the time for that for me. I've aged out of that, right? And also, I'm 52 now. I ain't physically got it like I used to have it. And I'm not going to be taking 200 milligrams of Viagra. That 50 milligram is good enough, bro. Like, if you taking more than 50, I ain't judging. I'm just saying 50 for me is cool. I'm all right with a 50 milligram right there. That's what they prescribe. That's what he say. The 50 is cool. Or the 20 milligram of the Cialis. And I'm good. With a non-sugar Monster energy drink, I'm cool. And we in Knoxville, so I know a little bit of country. So I remember the song, I forgot, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was. That's me today, man. I ain't got it in me no more to chase them, man, and be running around and all this and ducking this and all this arguing and fussing and that they don't like me over here and you don't like me and he don't like me because we like the same chick and she gave me some and gave you some and we all in these feelings and fuck all that, man. I ain't got that no more, man. I don't want your chick if she in here. No, I'm just joking, man. From the brotherhood standpoint, man, I'm not gonna mess with your woman, man. I was just joking, man. I'm not gonna mess with your woman, man. You know what I'm saying? From a brotherhood standpoint, because that's what we do here in brotherhood, man. I would never do anything to hurt any of y'all, man. Never. I would never intentionally set out to hurt any of y'all. I've had my time with that, and that's not what I want to do. I just want to help you. All I want to know is what's your problem and how I can help you, man. And if I can't help you, I ain't gonna hurt you. And if I ain't got experience in it, I'm going to tell you, man, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I ain't got no experience with that. Go talk to him over here. He got experience with it. That's why I can hear you when you sharing. Because you might be sharing some shit I ain't got experience with. But I know to send somebody to you who do. You know what I mean? Send you where to go where you need to get the information from, man. You know, this has been my therapy, man. Narcotics Anonymous, man, is therapy, man. We get this shit, man, and there's people paying a lot of money for this shit. Laying on somebody's sofa telling them this shit, man. We getting this shit for free. We getting it for free. And the only way we can keep getting this shit is if we give it away. The only way I can keep this shit is if I give it to somebody else. Ain't that some shit, man? See how that's work, man? This thing is beautiful, man. This is beautiful, man. And this shit ain't got no race on it. This shit ain't got no religion on it. It ain't got none of that, man. No sex on it. I was homophobic. I was homophobic when I came to Narcotics Anonymous. I'm a heterosexual man, and I was homophobic. I love the brothers in here that's, you know what I'm saying, in the community. I hug on them now. I had one of them tell, man, and he said, Lee, not everybody that's a homosexual wants you. I said, why? God damn it, like, why not? I thought I was the flyest motherfucker around. Not saying I want them, but I'm saying why? I'm the flyest motherfucker. Why? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go that route. I ain't going that route, but I'm just saying. But when they explained it to me, then I started, you know what I'm saying, putting my guards down, and now I hug on them and love them just as much. I ain't ashamed to see him in public and hug on him and love on him. And I used to see him in public. Like, oh, shit, I don't want that people to see me, you know what I'm saying, hugging on him. They might think I'm a, man, hey, yo, give me some love. And you know what I'm saying? This is what Narcotics Anonymous is doing. This is what Narcotics Anonymous is about, man. You know what I'm saying? We help each other in here, man. We go through shit together, man. This is what we do, man. This is what we do, man. I'm going to leave y'all with this. I'm going to get on up off of here, man. Narcotics Anonymous says that any addict to stop using drugs, lose a desire, and find a new way of life. It says any. So that means every last one of us in here qualifies. Thanks for letting me share.